Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make this lovely customized glass. I'm making a set of 4 of these for my mom. I started yesterday. These actually I need to put a second coat on, and so I have to for that one. But this one I already put my second coat on, and then I'm going to seal it. So what you're going to need is a nice glass, clean, make sure it's clean on the outside very thoroughly, and you could clean it again on the inside. I'm using Mod Podge. I have a bowl here because I'm actually going to pour a little bit of the Mod Podge in here and use it that way. I also have Mod Podge, Decoupage, which is what I'm going to use to seal this with, once I have my second coat. Now I did mine overnight just to give it time to dry enough so when I put my second coat on I don't have any issues. Now what you want to make sure you do when you're doing this project, I'm just going to show you really quickly, is to make sure you get any excess glitter off before you go on to put the sealer on. Now you may want to use a different sealer. I want to use the Decoupage to give it like that classy look. Okay, so I'm using actually my Cameo Silhouette, and that is what I will be using to print off the vinyl decals here. So I already started. I have my mat here, which is what you put into the silhouette, and I'm just going to show you using my name. And I have some pink vinyl I'm going to use for my initial, and then I'm going to have my name in black. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a new document, which is what I have right here. And you can see I'm using the Silhouette Cameo Studio to create this, and then we're going to go and put this on the cutter. So we're going to start with just creating an N for my initial for Nika. I'm going to tap away and then click it again, and I am going to make it larger just so I can see what I'm working with. And so I can see even better what I'm working with, I'm going to go over here to the little paintbrush here, the paint bucket. I'm going to make that in black so I can see it. As well, I'm going to click here and make the outline black. That way I can see it better. So now I'm going to go here and change my font. And I'm just going to find something that I think will work for me, something that I like. So I'm just going to scroll through. That's pretty decent. Okay, let's use Times New Roman today for my initial. So basically this is it. Now what you want to know, I use the grid lines, and you can find the grid lines by going here and just clicking on this, and then when you see that, you want to click the show grid. This works better for me because I know what size it's going to be on the actual mat. So my rule of thumb is if I'm working with like a champagne glass or whatever I'm working with, I measure it to see how far I want it, and then I use these little squares here for my project. So I'm going to scale this down, and I'm just doing that by moving the corner, and that when I move the corner it moves the whole initial. You can use these to change the height and the width by doing like this, but I like it better just moving it all at once. Let me go back and fix that a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to scale this down to about right here. So that's like about 2. I like to do 2 by 2. I'll make it a little bit larger. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go ahead and just write my name. And if I want, I can have both of these print at the same time, or I can print separately. I think I'm going to go ahead and have these print at the same time, just so I don't have to stop and reload again. So now I'm going to go ahead and change the font for this again. This time I'm going to use something a little prettier, a little bit more elegant. And actually I am going to have to print these separately because I want them to be two different colors. I'm going to keep my initial, I may make that like a pink or purple or something like that, but my name, I'm going to keep that black. We're going to work at, excuse me, I'm going to work on the project all at once before I go to the printer. Now what I found working with my silhouette is just learning how to pick the vinyl, like once you have the finished product, trying to get the lines. Let me show you, because I did something like this for my mom, and trying to peel back and not peel too much, it's a little bit of a headache and it takes some time. So if you're an impatient person, maybe you want to go with something simple like this. If you don't want to take the time to go through the little cracks and crevices that you need to go through when you're ready to place your vinyl onto your project, because a lot of these fonts can have some really funky, weird holes, and if you're printing something small, it takes time. And you'll see what I'm talking about once we print off this project. So I'm just going to keep going through here until I find the font that I like. So like I was saying, I'm not really sure where I left off. I had to take a phone call, so I do apologize. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure where I left off, but here I found my font. I'm using Monotype Corsiva for my name. So for right now, I'm going to set this aside, and I'm just going to work on printing the end. Whatever you have on the mat is what is going to cut. So if you're not ready to cut a specific thing, you want to set it aside, and it's not going to print it because it's not on the cutting mat. So what we're going to do is come over here, and you see the little pin up in the corner there. You're going to click on that, and that actually shows all of your settings. So I have it on cut because that's what I'm doing. I'm going to click the vinyl, and it has a setting of 1. Now, because the vinyl that I'm using is not silhouette, I don't know if that has anything to do with it or just the fact that I need my blade on 2. I found that, okay, let's go back to 1. I found that when I cut on 1, it cuts, but it doesn't cut it to the point where I pull away the area I don't need. It still sticks to that. So when I cut on 2, it cuts like it's supposed to cut. So that's all you do, and then at this point you send it to the silhouette, and then it prints. So I'm going to print my end. Again, this, I like to see my grit line. You don't have to do it that way. You can keep your white paper, but this helps me to decide what size I actually want it for the project that I'm working on. So now that I'm ready to print this in, I'm going to go ahead and click send to silhouette, and then it's going to cut. Okay, so now that I have my initial and my name printed off, I am going to go ahead and peel this back and put this on to my glass. And I think this is such a cute, cheap way to make a holiday gift for someone in your family. And my mother, she is going to absolutely love this. Who doesn't like bling, right? Now, if you're wondering if I spent a ton of money on the glass, got the glasses from the dollar store. So they're in good shape. I buy a lot of glasses and mugs and things from the dollar store all the time. So they're very sturdy. I've had these for years. I actually had a whole set, and over the years with moving and everything, a lot of them got broken, but I still have these. So I'm going to need something to transfer this initial onto my glass. So let me just go ahead and take this. And by the way, if you need me to do a tutorial on my silhouette, please ask me. I know there's a lot of tutorials out there. Silhouette America actually has their own YouTube page where you can find videos. However, if you need to see me do a particular video, I can't talk today, a particular video on the silhouette, just please ask me. You know, guys, that I pretty much do anything that you ask me. That sounds kind of weird, but not like that. As far as tutorials go, I will pretty much do anything that you ask. I'm still learning how to use this silhouette. I know my sister wants me to do a video, so there'll probably be one coming up soon. But since the holidays are fastly approaching, I want to show you some cool, cheap gifts. Well, not cheap, let's say inexpensive gifts that you can give to family, friends, or just anyone. So now that I have this, I'm going to go ahead and just find where I want my end and place it. I'll turn it this way so you can see what I'm doing. And you want to smooth it out so you can make sure that the vinyl is on the glass. And there's nothing else that you have to do once you get this vinyl on here. Once I put this on here, it's on here. And you can feel it, you can play around with it. It's not going to come off. If by chance you want to seal it again, I would suggest using Mod Podge or the decoupage or something that is going to leave a clear seal on the glass. So you can use your little scraper that comes with your silhouette if you want. I'm using silhouette. This isn't limited. I know there's Cricut out there. There may be some other craft cutters and things out there that people are using. However, or if you choose to buy your vinyl letters, you can do that. Any way to get them on there. So now that I have my end on there, I'm going to go ahead and place my name right up underneath there. So first I have to pick it out of here. And sometimes this can be easy, sometimes this can be hard. This is like the third project I've done on my silhouette. Okay, today it's going to give me the easy road. Okay. Sorry guys if you hear the noise in the background. That's just my furnace popped on because it's like cold here in Michigan. So if you live somewhere warm, please come get me. I hate the cold weather. I love Michigan for what it's worth. I know I say I hate it a lot, but I never plan on living here for the rest of my life. That's neither here nor there, but yeah. I was born in the summer. I'm a summer baby. I like the heat. It's better for my health in the heat. So this cold weather just drives me insane, and I definitely hate the snow. Okay, back to our project. This is such a fun project, and this is a project that you can also do with your children. As you all know, Miss Autumn loves glitter. She loves anything that sparkles. So I am glad that I finally have someone that I can share my love of crafts with. My boys, they get into crafts, but then their attention span is very short and they get frustrated, or they get done with what they're doing and they move on. We could do crafts all day and she won't leave my side. So I love that about her. Okay. If you're doing this and your letters I just use my fingernail to put it on, and then let's go. So what you're going to do now is find the placement. I've seen a lot of these where people either put their names and then put the initial over, or they put their initial and then put their names over. I kind of like it the way I did my mom's, with the name like right underneath the initials. So that's what I'm going to do for this. Actually, it's easier for me if I stand it that way. I'm just going to get it right up underneath that end and just place it. My A is kind of funky here. Okay, you want flatten it out as flat as possible. Get all the air holes out, air bubbles. Try to get that as flat as you can on there so it's not coming off. Okay, and I'm just going to peel back the tape. And there we have it. There's my name. It's a little crooked, but it's okay, it's my glass. So I actually like that. And of course, my favorite color is pink. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to put the glitter on. For me, I'm going to go ahead with the silver glitter. I got this glitter from my local grocery store. You can get yours from Joann's or Hobby Lobby, whatever craft store, Michael's. I'm sure they sell these. I'm not really sure what grade this is. It says D. So I don't know what that really means. It was 30% off, so I just picked it up because I knew I would need it for a craft later on. And what better way to use the glitter than to make your own customized glass. So this is what I do. I just take this sponge, and this is actually a bigger one. I do have smaller ones. I like to use this a little bit better because it makes it more even for me when I'm going around the bottom. I can get that a little bit more even. So I just kind of go around where I want the glitter to be. And I just put the glue, put a nice coating of glue on here. Don't make it too thin, don't make it too thick. If it's too thick, then your glitter is going to be clumpy. So then I just go on along and just paint the glue down. And if you're using a fast drying glue, I would say work fast. That way the glue doesn't dry before you put the glitter on. If you have a nose sensitivity, I would suggest you do this wearing a mask because the Mod Podge does have a slight scent to it. Fortunately for me, my nose has been clogged for the last 2-3 weeks, so I don't really smell it that much. So now that I see I have a nice coating of the glue on, I'm just going to go ahead and pour my glitter around my glass. I'm going to do one side at a time and just kind of spin it. You could do this in a bowl, using a spoon, whatever's easiest for you. I'm going to go ahead and take this newspaper later and just put the glitter that's here on the paper back in the bottle. So like I said, I did 2 coats on my mom's glass. And I'm going to go ahead and let this dry. And once this dries, I like to do this just to get the excess glitter off. And once it dries, see how pretty that is? That is so pretty. And now you can drink your champagne or your orange juice, whatever you use your champagne glasses for. You can drink in style now with your own customized glass. Doesn't cost a lot of money. This glass cost me $1. This glitter was on sale. I think I paid like 69 cents for it. The decals obviously were free to me because I used my silhouette. So I made my own customized lettering for my glass. I will suggest that you hand wash these. Probably don't use too harsh of a soap just because you don't want your glitter and your decals coming off. Do not put this in the dishwasher. Hand wash these. You want to treat these really delicately after you decorate them. And you could decorate them using pretty much anything. You don't have to do it the way I did it. I do have another video where I show you how to place rhinestones onto your glass, and I actually hand placed each one of the rhinestones on that glass when I did it. I just like doing things that way. A lot of people use the rhinestone mesh and things like that. I have it, so I'm actually going to use the rhinestone mesh for this glass. If there's anything that you want to see, I always say don't hesitate to ask me to do a tutorial. There is not a time that someone's asked me to do a tutorial that I haven't It may take me time to get to it if I have other tutorials that I'm doing. But go ahead and ask me if you have any questions. Please leave those in the comments. If you want to see more of me on a daily basis, go ahead over to my family channel and check out me and my family. I am all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. All of that is in the description. I also finally finished my book. If you watch my family channel, you know for the last over a year I've been trying to get finished with that book, and I'm finally finished. If you would like to purchase my book, go ahead and that's in the description. The link to purchase that book is in the description. I hope you liked today's tutorial. I know it's a little bit quicker than most of the tutorials, but because the holidays are coming up, I want to give you guys some ideas of things that you can do that are inexpensive. Everybody doesn't have a lot of money to spend, and if you're anything like me with a large family and you want to get mostly everybody in your family a gift, this is something that's awesome. They can keep for a long time. It's customized, so it's from the heart. I love doing homemade presents for my family, and my family loves them. So I love all of you guys. I hope you like this tutorial. If you want to see more of tutorials I have coming up, go ahead and subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see all of you next time.